Willie, back in the garage. I just pulled something out of the pile, and it reminded me of something that's very, very obvious about being in this hobby in this day and time. Some time ago, I had to replace a control arm on my S10. I'll show you. There it is right there. Ye old upper control arm. This one was from the left side. Now, the issue was, not an issue. Just let me explain real quick. Years ago, when I learned to do this particular job, I actually did it with a Stanley screwdriver and a claw hammer. Then I quit on the car, a 1964 Impala Super Sport. You can imagine what kind of room that I had. Took the wheel off, jacked it up, the whole 9 yards. And you can obviously imagine that I graduated very quickly from a claw hammer and a Stanley screwdriver to a chisel and a 3-pound sledge, but I managed to drive out the bushings and replace them both while this was still connected to the ball joint of the car. Fast forward to today, we had the same situation on the S10 when the engine was out of the car. A Ward bushing, as you can see right there, that I decided to go ahead and replace because it was the opportune time. There was no engine in the car, so it's simple, or so I thought. Went to the auto parts store, purchased a new bushing. But, as you can see, or maybe you can't, this bushing is not seated properly into the saddle or to its maximum limit that it was supposed to go. Even after putting it in an 80-ton press at a friend of mine's shop, because I don't have a press around here. But I had the bench vise and I had the big C-clamp. It did not work. And the issue came down to something very, very simple. This $11 piece from O'Reilly Auto Parts was not uncommon to anything else, but obviously, even with a press, would not go in. So what I ended up doing after a couple of days of losing time was simply replacing the entire control arm with an aftermarket one, probably at a cost of about $60-something. All that to say, you can still be in this hobby, and congratulations if you've gotten into this hobby with some type of older vehicle, no matter what the make, and you've experienced something similar to this. Now, when I did this on the 64, I had no fewer than 5-6 auto parts stores within 2 miles of the house. I could literally walk to them. Now we have only the 3 big box stores, plus Amazon and eBay, which has changed the game. What you need to decide very quickly is what's going to be most advantageous for you when it comes to your repairs. Do you replace the entire part, or do you simply replace a component? Do you have the proper tools or tooling or access to it to do it? In this day and time and economy, what I'm finding is it is easier to go ahead and replace entire components because there is no guarantee that everybody's manufacturing standards are going to match the original. And that's what I'm beginning to find out in this day and time. So, when it comes to your parts and pieces, you decide very quickly what's going to be best. Your time is important. Getting your project rolling is important, or your vehicle is important. So it's probably just as quick to replace an entire component than to replace an individual piece of a component, as it was in this case. So there you got it. Keep your projects moving forward. This is Willie at the New Bucks Garage. Talk to you later. Now let's scrap this thing.